Good evening with the Sports Roundup. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. The parish of St. Michael has dominated the National Sports Council's inter-parish island-wide road tennis tournament for a fourth time as the curtain came down on the finals last night at the Springer Memorial School. Both the A and B teams swept away Christchurch, while St. Michael also won the first ever youth under-21 title over St. George through Darius Gaskin. However, tonight we focus on the men's top class as Sean Green was there for the action.
Christchurch versus St. Michael in the men's A class. Team St. Michael in yellow, Mark Griffith up against Marson Johnson. The younger Griffith working the angles. And then the big cross-court killer, well executed. But Johnson is an A-class player too, which meant he had some A-class shots up his sleeves. And he whipped out one of them here, back past him in a flash. Mark Venom Griffith wasn't too impressed by that and tried something different. But sitting deep on backcourt and fixed to his left, opened up a door for Johnson, and he walked right through. And in any sport, you have two enemies. One is your opponent and the other yourself. The error, and Venom takes the first at 16. Johnson, he was right out there with the younger Griffith. With the score tied at 9 at one stage, Johnson used his feet, creates an angle for himself, and whoop-hacks cross court and out of here. But Griffith was leading, and he wanted to keep it that way, making Johnson work left and right before finishing off the play with this, back at you. And the writing was on the wall as Johnson goes into the net to hand Griffith the 21-15 victory and St. Michael the 1-0 lead. And the big game of the championship, Julian Michael Jackson White in the yellow and David Arndale in the blue, who jumped to a 5-0 lead with shots like that. You can take that to the bank, Mr. White. But Julian White is to road tennis what Michael Jackson is to pop, the king. And look at this speed, stepping in and back past his man. It took quite a while to find his range and warm up, but Jackson baited his time and wore Arundale down. Do you want to see a thriller by Michael Jackson? Then watch this, the forearm down the line. He snapped up the first at 13. White enters set 2 a lot more focused, and he wanted to end this contest in a hurry. Down the line before Arundale saw it coming, and the hop to get the crowd going. Arundale not amused. He trailed 7-0 at one stage in the second set, and he tried his killer shot once more, which he had problems with earlier, but not this time. Well executed by the Christchurch man. However, White had a big lead and wasn't about to let it slip. And after a little back and forth, he closed the shot down, cross-court hammer, and the hop for the after effect. Arundale with the serve, and also with the finisher, sweet shot. Well, even White had to stop and admire with a smile, but no humor at the other end. White serving and keeping Arundale honest. Then he pulls in right, goes cross court, and then again, you can't touch that. And his teammates knew what was coming and were already beginning to break out the bubbly. Leading now 20-10, and Michael Jackson turns up, smoking down the line. Look at that. Ari, are you okay? You've just been hit by a smooth criminal. Michael Jackson White taking the second at 10 to give St. Michael the win. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
And tomorrow night we'll have action from the other categories. The annual Christchurch Foundation Joel Garner T20 tournament is just a day away from its 6th installment, and there'll be 3 new teams this time around. St. Michael's School, Grantley Adams and Louis Lynch will help to make up the 16 sides competing.
The competition is starting on Monday, January 20th, 2014 at the Dover Cricket Ground. And all of the preliminary games, there are roughly about 24 preliminary games, which should be played Mondays at Briar Hall and on Wednesdays and Fridays at the Dover Ground. We're having then the semi-final, from the semi-final will be held here at Christchurch Foundation School, and the final probably the following week, which probably should finish on the 28th of March.
The organizers say the tournament has been a success in years gone by, and they're looking for an even better event this year.
I want this competition in all the areas. I want us to raise the bar this year because we want to move from one strength to strength each year, improve the quality, make it attractive each year, and we're going to need all stakeholders to be involved to make us to be successful.
Lyme Masters were 125 run winners in their latest game of the G4S Masters Cricket Tournament. Playing at home, they met Benfica and they opted to take to the crease first. Playing at home, the Lyme Masters took first knock, and the opening pair of Dave Estwick and David Nichols laid a solid foundation. That was Estwick with the boundary. Estwick again, this time back over the bowler's head for 6. Estwick was having a field day, another of his 4 boundaries, and it caused the scorer to get into the game. He and Nichols put on a first wicket partnership of 98 before Nichols was caught by wicketkeeper Trotman for 52. Glenfield Griffith, the bowler. Not a bad knock though for Nichols, whose 52 was off 47 balls. Estwick continued to beat ball, and the ball goes right through Anthony Brewster's hand for 6. He goes again, this time too high for any 2 of the fielders to make an attempt. Courtney Brown had joined Estwick at the crease, and the boundary fever caught him as well. So here he goes, getting in on the act. Estwick, in his total of 78, struck an even 4 4s and 4 6s before he made his exit. Caught Christopher Yard off the bowling of Selwyn Burrows. Lyme now 179 for 2. With 1 run added to that total, Brown would go bowled by Burrows, who was starting the inroads into the Lyme side. Brown made 34. Wicket number 4 would be an eager Ron Bates, who was run out when a quick return from Patrick Barrow to wicketkeeper Trotman caught him way out the crease. The score now 202 for 4. David Morris got a boundary to his name when he sneaked in this one, but Burrows meant business, and Morris was his 3rd wicket, bowled for 11. And 2 balls later, Burrows sent the bails of Paul Bridgman flying. Wicket number 4 for Burrows, 6 wickets down for the Lyme Masters, who at the cut-off time in the first session were 224-6 in 32 overs. Benfica in reply were skittled out for 68 in 21.4 overs. Cosmos have taken early control of Zone B in the 2014 Ivan Speed Ford Charity Football Shield Cup. Playing at the Parkinson Field last evening, all it took was a 1-0 win over Pori Springs, thanks to a lone goal from Renee Graves.